Hey there, YouTube family. Welcome to the Stocks with Josh show. Today, the markets are getting beat up. Crypto's down, stocks are down. It doesn't seem like much is safe, but it's given me an opportunity to review a lot of my stocks and a lot of my cryptos and begin to look at what has been performing better than the rest. What has relative strength? I've been talking recently about relative strength, and it really means best in class stocks or cryptos that are outperforming the rest around it, and they're not hitting the 52-week low, but actually they've been making some recent highs. I'm going to go over some of the stocks that we've been trading. I'm also just going to mention the environment that we're in. So the last 6 weeks has actually been very profitable. Larry and I have been, we go to breakfast at least once a week. This morning we went to breakfast with another friend and we were talking about how profitable the last 6 weeks have been. And it really begins to make you feel like, wow, we can just make incredible amounts of money in this market. But we also had been saying to each other last week that things could turn. It was time to sort of slow down, because when things are going so well for a period of time, oftentimes you want to let that sort of digest for a little bit. And that's what we've seen today. Sort of the good times of a nice controlled swing trade environment moving sideways in the market sort of came to an end, and everything has just been driving down. I don't believe that we are done with this current trend of moving up. I believe that we're just in an extremely volatile day. I think we're going to get whiplashed down, and then it wouldn't surprise me if we get whiplashed right back up. That's currently where we're at because we're still waiting on data. These markets are still going to be data driven. And I've been saying repeatedly in my videos that there is not enough data to push these markets down. I can tell you where that additional data could come from that would cause these markets to go nuts and to go south. Well, that would be the CPI report. And so that's going to be a big one. But we could also see, if that were to come out low, if we were going to see that the inflation has dropped pretty dramatically, between that and the potential political rally, we could actually see just as violent of a day upwards. And so today the markets are down, but there could be presenting themselves a massive opportunity. I'm going to quickly go through a lot of the stocks that we talk about on this channel, and then I'm going to give you guys my conclusion at the end. Let's get into it. Disney was an absolute terrible disappoint. They 75% of the time beat expectations come earnings. Not this time. They failed us, and the stock has just absolutely been punished. I sold out of my Disney play and I had to take a loss. I just got beat on that one. It was a call that did not pay off. Then we've got Norwegian Cruise Lines. I sold that, and I told everybody when I sold it back at $16.50, I believe. And I'm just bringing that back to your attention because if you guys are trading it, and if you've watched my channel, you know that I like Norwegian Cruise Lines. I believe in the management. I believe in the company. I believe the stock will continue to go up. But I told you guys when I sold it, I have not repurchased any. I told you guys that I'd be looking at the $15 mark for an area of repurchase. And I think when I last looked at it today, it was around $15.80. So it's getting closer to where I will retake a position. But I also want to tell you guys that I'm not dead set on that $15. If we get to the $15 and it looks like the market is free falling, I will just wait. But at the moment, I think we're going to be getting near to a bottom. I think we're going to see some things in the political environment that could give us that turnaround rally here in the next couple of days. But if we get closer to $15, that's going to be a buy for me. Then TCRT, I want to remind everybody that I sold that up above $4, and I told you guys, and I did get into another trade when it flashed down to $129 because it got oversold in a single day, so I was looking for the bounce. We participated in that, but then the last time I sold it, I told you guys that this thing can go all the way back down to its lows, which I called at 60 cents. So right now, we're not touching TCRT until we get closer to 60 cents. And then I did a video about Meta, Facebook. I did 2 videos back to back, the 29th and the 30th. And I told you guys that I was looking to get into a bounce play there, which I did. I got it. I called out the buy at 86, but it never quite came down to that 86. But I got in around 88. I ran it up today to $1.02, and I'm out of it for now. I feel like it's cooled off. It doesn't mean that it couldn't go higher, but I got some profits and I'm okay with that. Baba, I told you guys when I sold that at $69.50 and I sold my entire pot, I got out of it completely. And even though there is essentially blood in the street today, I feel like it's pulled back enough for me to get back in. I've told you guys that I do see it hitting that $73 target. I considered today a buy for Baba at $64. Okay, Verb and SBET. I'm going to get asked a lot about those because people have followed me into the small caps because you guys love the small caps. And those are a hold right now. There's really nothing to report. There's no great news. I've got opinions about the earnings coming up, but I think we're waiting for the earnings on Verb and SBET to move them. SBET, we're really waiting more for news on that one, but right now, Verb, we're waiting for the news. It's a hold. Remember, there's two ways of managing your small cap positions, the risk. You can either use a stop loss, which stops you out at a position that you are willing to lose, or you manage your risk by maintaining a position size that's not going to keep you up at night. Now, I had a friend, I went to breakfast this morning and he asked me, because Verb has come down to 16 cents, he said, Josh, are you going to load up and get some more? He's like, I think I should put in another 1,600. It would really lower my cost. And I said to him, well, you got to take those two rules I give you. Two rules. If you choose not to use a stop loss, then the only other method of managing your risk is position size. I said, does adding that additional $1,600 break the rule of position size? And he said, yes, it does. Well, then I said, then you probably shouldn't add it. So I just want you guys to keep that in mind when you're dealing with small cap, high risk stocks. If you didn't use a stop loss, the only other situation that you can do is to maintain your position size to something that's going to allow you to sleep at night. Hey, this video was brought to you and sponsored by the investment app MooMoo. There is a link in the description of the video. If you open and fund an account, they'll give you 15 stock. This app is completely free to use. It's commission free. Trade costs are zero, but they'll actually pay you and give you money to open up an account and begin to trade immediately. Right now, if you put in $100, you're guaranteed 6 chances at stock valued at $2,000. I like MooMoo because I have a community over on the app where we have a chat group where we talk daily, as well as the fact that you can follow me in some of the trades that I give there in my community. But the app itself has got a lot of big benefits. You can option trade, you can short stock on the MooMoo app. You've got a 16-hour trade window. You've got free level 2 data. You can see earnings. You can watch earnings live on the app, and there's a great community over there. So hit the link, join the community, join the conversation over there, and get that free money. Okay, then STKL for me was a sell at $11.22 for a small profit. And I want to point out to you guys the ideal level of support on STKL. It seems to have good support at $9.44. So I'm waiting for it to come back so I could pick up some more at $9.44. I brought STKL to this FAM because it has great relative strength. And just to explain to you what that means when I say it's got great relative strength, right now when a lot of stocks, big tech stocks, are hitting their 52-week lows, STKL right now is 175% above its June lows. So this is a stock, again, when the market turns around, is likely to go higher, not lower. My target 1 for STKL is $14, and my target 2 for STKL is $17. And right now, I'd like to get back in at $9.44. I may begin to buy slightly above that, but you also, if you followed my page, you know how I like to get in and out of trades. I like to go in and break up my orders. And I want to take, so if I'm going to buy more STKL and I'm going to spend 10 grand on it, I'm going to buy 2 grand at a time all the way into my full position. And I'm going to be looking at buying with percentages going down. And I will still add percentages going up if I believe that it's on an upward trajectory. Okay, let's talk about Tall Education. That's another one that I brought to you guys. I want to just point out that even today, when so many stocks are down, Tall Education is 200% up from its June lows. I see support for Tall Education at $4, and my target is $6.61. So I'm accumulating back at $4, and I'm looking to take profits at $6.61. But Tall is holding up extremely well in this current environment, which in my mind is very bullish. I got into a Google play at $86, and my target price on that is $92. That is a swing trade. I also carry Google in my long-term retirement account. And then I'm going to cover one that I've actually never talked about, but I get asked about it in the comments section, and that's Zim, Z-I-M. It's a shipping company. And I'm going to come out, and I feel like I'm crushing people's hopes with some of their investments. I'm never intending to frustrate or hurt anybody, but I'm just going to tell you that Zim's is a very problematic stock. I've looked at it many times. I think that the shippers will do very poorly in a recession. They're normally the ones that are hit the hardest. And so I think that Zim does not have a great upwards trajectory. I think it's got a downward trajectory. And I'm just going to warn you guys to put in a stop loss on Zim at $22. Do not DCA down on Zim. You could get absolutely slaughtered. I will tell you that Zim could go to below $2. And I've had experience with this in the past with a company called Dry Ships, where it ran up from a very low price all the way up into $100, $120, came all the way back down to $1.30. It was another shipping company that was very popular. They pumped this shipping company all over media at the time. We're talking about how they were just going to take over the world. And in the end, it was just a big pump and dump. And I have very similar vibes with Zim. I know that I'll be told by a lot of people in the comment section why Zim is so much special and better than the other shippers. But I'm just going to tell you right now that shippers will get crushed in the recession. We still have the 2023 recession ahead of us. And in my opinion, Zim is going to be crushed in that. The stock price is going down. Do yourself a favor, set a stop loss at $22. Cut it off there. Don't accept any loss below $22. Do not DCA into Zim. Okay, we looked at some relative strength in some of our favorite stocks, but we have great relative strength emerging in some of our favorite crypto stocks. That's going to be my very next video. If you guys don't want to miss that, then hit the like, the subscribe, and the notification bell, because there's great opportunities in these markets right now. I think we're getting whip-sawed back and forth. I think that we are experiencing right now this great big drop down, but there's a couple big things that could really just whip us right back up to the top. We have the CPI report coming out, as well as the results of the election. Either of those could affect this market dramatically, but we do need to be mindful that if that CPI report came out bad, I think that would be a good enough reason for the markets to create an absolute new low. But so we're really not going to know until we see that report come out. But if it does come out well, then it's going to be off to the races. We're going to go right back up on a lot of these stocks that have been punished today. But again, follow me over on the MooMoo app as well by clicking the link in the description of the video. Let's keep this conversation going here on YouTube and over there where there is no spam. That's what I like. You can actually have conversations without people that are impersonating me and asking you to reach out to them on WhatsApp, Telegram, and Instagram. You all have a great day. Peace and blessings, my friends. Talk to you soon.